Hello and welcome to Long's Toys. Today I have a Tenkai Knights review for you. This is the Tenkai Dragon. He actually has two modes, a good mode and a bad mode, so we'll take a look at both of those. And it does come with Bravenwolf and Vilius, the tiny little figure versions. So this is the front of the box. On the side of the box, it just kind of shows the massive brick that transforms into the dragon. And on this side, it just kind of shows the dragon and the other dragon, so that's both versions, which you can see here also on the back of the box. You have the Tenkai dragon and the evil Tenkai dragon, or the light and dark dragon. So I think it's pretty cool. We'll go ahead and get this out of the packaging and take a closer look. Alright, so first we're going to take a look at the kind of main brick pieces that you get with this. This giant piece right here is the main dragon piece, which is really massive. Just for comparison, this is a kind of tiny, standard little Tenkai Knight piece in comparison. So I'm going to put him off to the end, or off to the side, and do him last. These are the two tiny normal figures you get. This one's Bravenwolf, and this is Vilius. So just kind of start by I like to pull the legs out to the side so that the arms will come out, and then you can rotate the legs all the way around, pull the two arms down, and then the middle piece here will flip down. They're pretty standard. They're all the same. And here I'll zoom in. And I'll take a closer look at this guy when I put his armor on later, but this is what he looks like without any armor. So I'll put him off to the side. And then the Bravenwolf one transforms the same way. Just kind of get these arms out of the way. Flip the legs around. Pull the arms down and then pull the chest piece down. And that usually snaps in. There we go. So here's Bravenwolf with no armor on. Looks pretty good. Put him off to the side. Zoom back out. Now you have these two are identical, and they are basically launchers for these discs. The discs are pretty simplistic. There's blue ones for the light dragon and red ones for the evil dragon. But how these work basically is you just lift this piece up, and then this back piece will lift up, and then you kind of push this, pull this piece out. Now what you can do is you can pull it out early, or you can just kind of leave it in. And what happens is when you push the disc in, it'll naturally push this piece back. That way when you want to fire it, you just push this piece in. And it fires pretty well, I have to say. The two of these fire pretty well. So these are just the same way. You just pull it out. You can lift it up as much or as little as you want. And this piece will lift up. So those are your two launchers. Pretty simplistic, but they do fire pretty well. So you get two of them. And then there's this piece, which I'll zoom in a bit. It's just kind of a gold piece with some spikes. Now it just opens right in half, just like that. Now if you look, there are... Let's see if I can zoom in more. There are these two black, like, clips, and there's a black button on top. And if you press that down, it does move the clips. But I can't see that it does anything. I think on the two toys, it just kind of shows putting it like this, and it just is like an ornamental piece. So I don't know if this was originally supposed to do something and they just kind of scrapped it at the last minute, but that black button will push those two black pieces on the inside down, but I can't show that it does anything, so that's kind of weird. But putting all this stuff off to the side and taking a look at the big dragon piece, it's really massive and I like it a lot. Transforming it is fairly simplistic. You're just going to kind of move this middle piece out, and you might have to move, you can kind of pull these two parts up, and they'll kind of move off to the side. And then once you can get in, you can pull this piece out, and that's going to come around, and then rotate around to be the dragon's head. And I think you actually turn it like this and then like this so that the studs are on the top. These pieces are going to fold out and become dragon wings. And then down here on the sides, you just kind of have the feet. So you're going to kind of pull these out and just rotate them around. And then for the back legs, you're going to have to rotate the feet around 180 so that both feet are facing the same way. And then you're going to do the same on this side. It feels like this brick would be really intricate because it's so big, but it's really just large in size. The transformation is fairly easy. Then with this back piece, you're going to kind of lift this up and pull this down and turn it around, and that's going to be the dragon tail. And with the wings, there is another joint here, so you can pull them out to the side. Let me try to zoom out more. There we go. So it's a fairly large and impressive looking dragon from a large cube, which I think is very cool. So I really like the look of it. But we'll go ahead and get these guys armored up. So here are Bravenwolf and Vilius with their armor on. As you can see, they each have a helmet, a weapon, a kind of shield / weapon, and then kind of a backpack. With Vilius, he's got, instead of a shield, he's kind of got like an extra, like a shield spike kind of situation. And then he's got his staff, and he's got these kind of cool wings on his back. He's got the same articulation as any of the other figures of this size, where he's got kind of a ball joint in the shoulder, a ball joint in the kind of bicep for the whole arm, and then kind of ball joints in the feet. But I think overall he looks pretty great. I really like the big wings on the back. Put him off to the side. We got Bravenwolf. He's got a classic kind of sword and shield, and then he's got kind of a cape on his back. I really like his helmet. So there you go. So all in all, I think these are pretty cool figures, the two of these that you get. They have been released before several times, but if you don't have them already, then it's nice to get them in this set. So first up, we'll be taking a look at the Light Dragon. And these do take a fair amount of time to put together in each mode. I just want to take a look real quick. I really like the Light Dragon's face design. I think the green eye is really cool. And I like the gray and the blue and the gold. I think those three colors complement each other very well. Again, as I said before, he's kind of got this piece here on the front, but I don't really know what it does, the gold piece down here. It's just kind of ornamental. But I do really like the look of the head. I think that came out really nice. As far as posability, it's got ball joint here in the top of the leg, then kind of a hinge joint in the, what would be kind of the knee or arm. I don't know. Technically, I guess they have 4 arms or legs. I guess legs, obviously. And then a ball joint here in the foot, which is nice. I really like the pieces they use for the claws on all 4 legs. I think that looks really nice. It's a little difficult to get him into kind of a standing pose. He's got a lot of weight up top, so his legs kind of like to bow out a little bit, but it's not unworkable, I should say. I like the tail here on the back. I like the 3 light blue pieces here, and then the kind of silver piece on the end. And this has ball joint here, here, here. So it's got lots of articulation. You can really go to town. 1, 2, 3 ball joints. So I think that's really nice. I really like the detail on the tail. The wings can flap up and down. They can also come forward and back. There's extra wing flaps here on the sides. And then he's got his 2 launchers up here, which are on ball joints, so you can move them around a little bit. Obviously this whole section can come off, and you can just kind of pops right back on. I don't think it's really meant to come off, but it's Legos, or Lego-like, so you can take it off, do whatever you want. And then both of these fire, as I showed you before. And the other cool thing you can do, since this is the light dragon, you bring in your Braven Wolf, and you can just kind of pop him on the top here. Just peg his feet right into his neck, and then he can ride the light dragon. So all in all, I think it's a really cool design. Like I said, unfortunately the back legs keep wanting to bow out, but I think if you can just get them and finally get them in a pose you like. I really like the head design of the dragon. I think the color scheme is well done. I think the light blue, the silverish gray, and the gold go very well together. And overall, he's got a lot of posability. So I think it's a pretty cool looking dragon. Alright, so here we have the evil dragon. And I can't decide which one I like better. While I do like the light blue color scheme better, this one just seems to be a little bit more cohesive. The armor plating on the legs, it's just, I don't know, it makes it seem a lot more like it sits flush with everything, and it's just a lot more cohesive looking. Take a quick look at the dragon head. I think it looks pretty cool. I really like the solid white eyes. It really gives it a menacing look, which I think looks pretty cool. I also like the chains that it's got here, from the kind of mouth to the side of the legs. It's got the same launchers. They do have the red discs in it now instead of the light blue ones, but they're pretty much mounted in almost the exact same spot with the same amount of posability. There's each on one ball joint. As far as the legs go this time around, and I'll try to move them around to the back so you can see the wings better. They each have these 3 red pieces that kind of look like fingers almost, but they can move up and down. You have posability here, and then you have more here, so you can really kind of shrink the wing in or really splay it out if you want to have like a gigantic wingspan. So I mean, you really could get his wings going here really nice and long, spread out wide, and they collapse in pretty nicely. So I think that's really cool. I enjoy that. The tail has the same amount of posability, 1, 2, 3 ball joints, and they have that giant gold piece back here. To me, it makes more sense, since it's just ornamental, like to have it as the end of his tail, kind of like having a big piece on his tail that he can whip around and hit people with. That just kind of makes more sense to me than having it up front underneath the mouth before. So I think I might have to give the edge to the evil dragon design just because it seems to work a little bit better. Still have a little bit of issues with his back legs, but overall I think it looks pretty good. So at the end of the day, is this set worth it? It really depends how much you get it for. Tenkai Knights is kind of on its way out. A lot of Targets and Walmarts are kind of clearancing them to get rid of them. When this guy first came out, I saw him at Walmart for $30 and Target for $50, which I thought was a very large discrepancy, so I kind of thought that was a little weird. But Target very quickly threw it on clearance, and it went down to $35, then kind of $25. I ended up getting this for $15 on clearance at Target, and for that price, I definitely think it's worth it, because it's a very cool dragon. And I'm sorry, I forgot to go ahead and pop Vilius here on the top. You can kind of pop him. There you go. So I think it's cool. I mean, it comes with a giant dragon brick, which is very cool. You get 2 little guy bricks of Vilius and Bravenwolf. If you've been collecting Tenkai Knights up to this point, they're probably duplicates for you because they were in the first wave. But if this is the only piece that you pick up, then I think it's definitely worth it. If you can find it on clearance at Target or Walmart for around $15 or even $20, I would say, I think it's worth it because there's a lot of playability. You get 2 dragon modes. I think I prefer the dark dragon or evil dragon, but the good dragon or light dragon is just as cool. I really like the color scheme of that dragon with the light blue and the gray and the gold. The only reason I think I like the red a little bit better is the build is just a little bit easier, a little bit more cohesive. Just kind of looks for an all-around better dragon. But I think both modes are perfectly great. You get a lot of playability out of this with 2 different modes, plus you get 2 figures to go with it. You get the launcher bricks. There's just a lot to do with this. So I definitely recommend it if you can get it for a good price. I certainly wouldn't have paid Target's full retail of $50, especially when at Walmart it started at $30. So $30, I would say it's probably still worth it, but if you could find it on clearance, then I definitely recommend it. But please let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like and share this video. Please make sure you're subscribed. I hope you've enjoyed this review of the Tenkai Dragon from Tenkai Knights, and thanks for watching.